Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a break with Stephen Shamus. How are you, sir?
Good to see you, Alex. It's good to
Yes.
see you again. Thank you,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yep.
It was a mild winter.
Yeah.
We've been
It's
very
still
fortunate.
early. It's still early. It's gonna
I don't know.
January,
I'm
February
loving
is the
it.
cold. January, February is the
I'm
cold.
loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right, what do we got today, Alex?
Yeah, we're gonna go down some oddball paths, but some stuff that people might not know is going kind of crazy right now. We're gonna talk a little Mario and Donkey Kong because Valiant is the only Mario and Donkey Kong Nintendo property that people are collecting.
Donkey Kong!
We're going to go OG Terminator, not Terminator 2, original flavor Terminator.
In the 21st century, a weapon will be invented like no other. This weapon will be powerful, versatile, and indestructible. It can't be reasoned with.
Talk a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to talk Life is Strange, which is a video game turned comic.
My name is Max Caulfield. I'm 18 years old. Years ago, my family moved away and I left behind my childhood. After 5 years, I'm back in my hometown, Arcadia Bay, Oregon.
And then Space Vixens, of course, the big favorite multi-million-dollar movie franchise, Space Vixens.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a mishmash of pop culture properties today. Yeah. So it is interesting. It feels like every week we're talking about something from the 80s or the 90s that's all of a sudden blown up. I've seen it with the baseball cards too, like a lot of the players from the 80s and 90s, not even necessarily Hall of Famers, the Dwight Goodens and the Darryl Strawberries of the world. Their cards are just exploding in value. Even Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, who may be Hall of Famers quality, but are not necessarily in the Hall of Fame. So It is interesting that these are sort of like you would consider Hall of Fame properties.
Right. Totally.
And once we start talking about them, I think you'll see it. So, all right, what do we got first up, Alex?
Blip number 1. First appearance of Mario and Donkey Kong.
So I remember, and this is probably before your time, I remember playing Donkey Kong on the basic.
Oh yeah,
the
arcade machine to stand up.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was like most kids in the 80s. That was your introduction to the very first video game. Everything was like that. It was like Frogger.
Yeah.
It was Centipede.
Yeah.
Space Invaders. Yeah. Right. All those games are like the first ones, but there was something about Donkey Kong that just captured the imagination. And they made so many different iterations of it. They made the handheld ones, the little guys, the little video cards or whatever.
Yeah.
And Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. So anyway, I just think it's one of those nostalgic things, Alex. You're seeing it with non-sports cards like Miss Pac-Man and a lot of the non-sports cards. The Donkey Kong trading cards have taken off. Yeah. And this book is on fire. I know we talk about this all the time, but this book is
because this is a strange
fire,
one. This is definitely a strange one.
Yeah, it's a Matthew Laborto photo cover. It's the first comic book appearance of Mario and Donkey Kong. Blip number 1, as you said, February of '83. Wow, I was
38 years old.
I was 10 years old.
I was not alive. One more month, I was alive.
17 9.8s, 25 9.6s, 20 9.4s, and 16 9.2s. The book is about a $2,300 book.
I've had a couple of them in my hand, and nobody cares.
Really?
It's not a comic book; it's a computer magazine in comic form. So I mean,
can you track them down?
They're long gone. They're long. I think I might have a number 2 or 3. There's one that has Spider-Man on the cover. I think that's number 2. I might have that somewhere. But I mean, nobody cared about these books. Yeah,
I had so many of these books in my hand: the X-Men and all X-Men 94s and giant size number 1s and Hulk 181s and Spidey 129s. Every so often, I'll go through some old boxes of comics and I'll see a price sticker on something and I'll say like $10.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, It's like a $4,000 book now. It's
Yeah, you're like,
it's like,
if
are you
only.
kidding me?
If only it's only.
Crazy. It's crazy, Alex. It's crazy. Okay, what do we got next, Alex?
Let's talk about Terminator, the original
Another-
Terminator.
Another book that's very, very popular that's now coming back. It was published by a company called Now Comics, which back in the late 80s was actually, I don't know,
Pretty
were they
big.
a major publisher?
I would
were a
say
big
they
publisher.
held a lot of licenses. Married with Children comics that ran forever. The Ghostbusters,
Right.
that ran
Ghostbusters,
forever.
right?
Those are
They did
big
the
properties.
They were like the IDW of the
100%.
80s.
Yeah. And they
Right?
and a lot of those properties. I mean, Married with Children, the comic book ran for like 30 issues. That's a lot of Married with
Oh
Children
my God.
comic books.
So again, I think this is a nostalgia play.
Totally.
Obviously, people are familiar with the Terminator. It was based on the character in the comic kind of looked like Schwarzenegger a little bit.
Yep.
They made him kind of look like Schwarzenegger, right? So it definitely has that name, image,
Painted.
likeness of
Nice painted cover.
of
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, Fred Schiller's story, Tony Atkins and Jim Brosnan art with a Mitch O'Connell cover. Terminator #1, September of '88. 33 9.8s, 34 9.6s, 18 9.4s. Those are about $500 in 9.8. Now, I do remember those books. You can probably find those books in dealer $2 boxes, $5 boxes.
Yeah.
And if you get a nice high quality copy, you will make 10 times your money.
Yep. Definitely.
You
Agreed.
can absolutely find those.
Yeah.
All right. It's time for Alex's pick of the week. What do you got, Alex?
Bound Comics. There is a subset of people who, instead of trade waiting, which is when people wait for the trade paperbacks of a comic series to come out, they will get their weeklies and they will bound them. You can go to a printer and you can give them a stack of comics. Here's my, Ms. Marvel 1 through 20 complete volume 1 collection, and they will bound them and put them together in a book that you can put on your shelf. A lot of these are for personal. I mean, a lot of people do them just for themselves. Like I would get my Miss Tree hardcovers done because I love that series. They're not really worth anything and they look cool on a shelf. There's no big, hardcovers of them. But you can find these on eBay of people selling their copies, and you can get some good stuff. I mean, you can find, I saw the other day a Demon 1 through 12, the original Jack Kirby series, leather bound hardcover book. On the spine it says The Demon, and it's like $200. It is. They aren't cheap in the sense where you're not getting a deal, but I mean, it's the full comic just bound in a book. You get all the ads, you get the front cover, the back cover.
Interesting.
Sometimes when you get trades of like, vintage books, 80s books, it's recolored, it's on glossier paper. These are just like fun books to have if you want your own set, if you want the original comic.
Got it. All right, cool. All right, what do we got next, Alex?
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
By the way, isn't there like a new version coming out soon?
They do so many comics on this property. IDW's been doing it. Dynamite had it for a long time. New movies.
I think there's
left
something
and
called
right.
Leatherface coming. No, am I right? I don't know.
Well, there's that property.
There was a Leatherface back in 2017.
Right.
And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay. Well, in any case, again, this is another case of nostalgia, right? I think there's another case of nostalgia because you've got another property from back in the day that has been. Oh, here we go. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. That's probably why it's hitting. It comes out in February. So it comes out in a few weeks from now.
1 month. Yeah.
I knew I saw it on TV, and I knew that's why it was.
I haven't seen anything about it, so it's news to me.
Let's see who's playing Leatherface.
I heard it first here. He's behind a mask the whole time, so you're not going to know anybody.
Let's see what else he's been in.
They're not going to put Daniel Day-Lewis back there.
By the way, that would be interesting.
I would watch a Leatherface by Daniel Day-Lewis.
I would watch Daniel Day-Lewis play anything.
He could literally just sit and read a book of poetry, and I'd be into it.
I know. So that's why. So there's a new film coming out. Again, North Star Publishing, April of '91. I don't think they're in existence anymore.
No way.
It's got a Dave Dorman cover on it.
It's pretty big.
Enough. Right. Dave was pretty hot back then.
Yeah.
Leatherface #1, April of '91, 17 9.8s,
wow, that's
9
small.
9.6s, and 9.4.
Wow.
It's about a $430 book in 9.8. That's the first Leatherface comic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that was 31 years ago. Wow.
And
so I guess
way after
film,
the movie too. I think the movie was late 80s, maybe. So maybe a couple years.
Let's see if this film is going to be a major. You think this film's going to be like a theatrical release or?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, they all have been. They all have been.
After 50 years of hiding, Leatherface returns to terrorize a group of idealistic young friends who accidentally disrupt his carefully shielded world in a remote Texas town. That sounds like a brand new story. Okay.
Sounds like all the other Texas Chainsaw Massacres.
All right. What do we got next, Alex?
Something new, something from Titan Publishing, which I don't think we've ever mentioned Titan Publishing yet here. But the video game turned comic book Life is Strange.
So why is this book selling for so much money, Alex?
Same thing. We talked about it with Uncharted last week, and we've talked about it before. This is a video game property where people are really into the video game, and the only way to get new product is another video game, which take years to make new video games. So they put it on, they made a comic book, and I believe it's still going on now. It's been very popular. But this is a video game that's been around for a very long time. And, you know, when stuff like this, again, moves into comic books, you know, people are just hungry for the property. And that's why it's so popular.
Wow. Okay. Well, here we go again.
Yeah.
So a lot of these have 0 or low pops, but I would try to buy these.
It's still a new book, so I mean, you might be able to find some stores that have it.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, Titan Comics, Life is Strange, December of 18, number 1, based on the video game by Square Enix and Don't Nod. Emma Vicelli story, Claudia Leonardi art. Cover A was done by Claudia Leonardi. There's only 9.8s. There's only 1 9.6. That's about a $600 book today, Alex. Woo! $600. Cover B is by Amanda Shank. There are 0 9.8s. I would try to buy any of these raw you can find.
I'm going to go to the store and try to find them. Yeah.
Yep. Variant cover C is the Max game cover. There's only 1 9.8. Variant cover D is the Chloe character game cover. That's 0. There's 0 9.8s. Then there's the variant cover E, which is the Chloe t-shirt variant. There's only 1 9.8. Then there's the blank sketch cover, which is cover F, 0 9.8. Then there's the variant cover G, which is the t-shirt cover. I'm sorry, I already said the t-shirt cover.
Yeah, the jetpack.
Then there's the Emma Vicelli Jetpack Forbidden Planet combo cover. $1,500 in a 9.8, and it's not in the census yet, so it might be a 1 of 1.
Yeah. Yep.
And a second print, there's 2 9.8s, and that just sold for $600. So these books are crazy, and you're right. Nuts. You should be able to find these books, Alex.
Yeah. I think if you get outside of the major metro cities, you might be able to find a couple of these hanging around.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. What are we closing the show with today, Alex?
Some legendary comic artists in their early work. Let's talk a little Space Vixens, some Star Grazers.
1989, Alex.
Yeah.
And these books are selling for a lot of money.
Yeah.
Selling for a lot of money. Space Vixens is 3D Zone number 16.
Yeah.
Ray Zone, 1989.
Yeah, 3D craze, that late 90s.
Oh, yeah, I remember
3D craze. Yes. Black Thorns.
You got 2 pairs of 3D. Oh, Dave Stevens cover. Okay, got it.
And interiors.
And interiors, right. So 14 9.8s, 24 9.6s, and 23 9.4s. 9.8s are over $1,000, Alex. $1,000.
Yeah.
$150 for a 9.4. And then Legends of the Stargazers number 1. Interestingly enough, has an Adam Hughes cover on there. It was August of 1989. That had to be near the beginning of his career.
Totally. It might be the first big.
Might be.
Yeah.
Might be.
And these and that's why they're worth money. That's why people are looking for these rare, small, independent comic books that there's not out there.
Yeah, it's like your Samurai Santa number 1 or your Coyote number 11, right? So there are 4 9.8s. One just sold for 175. So that seems like if you can buy those, you know, I don't know where you're going to find a 3D zone of a 16. I don't think you're going to find those in boxes.
No.
Legends of the Stargazers maybe have a little bit of a better chance, but we'll see. But that's something interesting for you. So
yeah, I mean that's I mean we've talked about with Todd McFarlane completists. If you're an Adam Hughes fan, these are the books. If you're a Dave Stevens fan, which there's not a lot of Dave Stevens stuff, there's not a lot.
Yeah. All right, Alex, that brings to a close another show. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the field below. We appreciate you joining us this week, and we wish everybody, we hope you guys all had a fun and exciting new year, and we will see you soon. And we will see you next week, everybody. Same bat time.
Same bat channel. Bye, guys.